We're at the most westerly point of the island on a wonderfully blustery day. Behind me, the Needles, perhaps the most famous of all island landmarks, and perched on the hilltop above, an old fort built in the 19th century to protect the British against invasion from the French. The Needles Old Battery, as it's known, is today run by the National Trust, and it's a fun and fascinating place to visit. Now, if you're a member of the National Trust and you've got a card like I have, then you can get in for free. Now we just got to find Hannah, who runs the Needles Old Battery, and find out a little bit more. Hannah.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Steve.
Welcome to the Needles Battery.
I got my National Trust card with me.
That's brilliant, that means you can come in for free.
So Hannah, just tell me a little bit about the Needles Old Battery.
Well, Victorian fort, built in the 1860s for protecting Portsmouth from the French, and used right up until the Second World War. So we've got lots of rooms set up with exhibitions, how life would have been here in the Victorian periods, what life was like as a soldier in the Second World War. If you've got your family, you can explore the site dressed up as a soldier, or if you've got little ones, you can look for our hidden soldiers who are hiding around the site, and you need to find them while you're looking around. Don't miss the tunnel, and then you've got the tea room where you can relax when you've finished looking around and enjoy some nice homemade cake.
I've got my tour book.
Enjoy
See you
your
later.
visit.
The first thing you see when you cross this parade ground are these two really impressive cannons. Now these are Armstrong 9-inch muzzle-loading guns. Each one weighs 12 tons, and they fired a shell weighing 256 pounds. That's heavy.
You can now imagine when you see the guns, and you can imagine how that was 100 or 200 years ago.
The size of those guns, and what I would have expected them to fire cannonballs, not shells.
I'd like to know, was it ever used in anger? I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
The answer to this and many other questions can be found in the various exhibit rooms. In the old shell store, murals on the wall tell the story of the old battery, and despite being ready to repel the enemy, it never did see wartime action. Now, as Hannah mentioned, there's lots of really interesting exhibit rooms to look around. But the thing that really intrigues me is the searchlight emplacement, and it's to be found at the end of this 80-metre tunnel. The tunnel was built in 1899, and it's easy to imagine what it would have been like with soldiers running up and down here to the searchlight emplacement, ready to spot enemy ships. The tunnel opens out into this spectacular observation platform, and this is where you'll find the old searchlight. And from here you've got fantastic views out over the Solent and the Needles. Oh, now, there's a good idea. And then once you finish having a good look around, have a cup of tea up in the tea room. And once again, the views from here are pretty spectacular. So if you're into history or simply into great views, what a fantastic way to spend a couple of hours. The Needles Old Battery. Here's all the information you're going to need if you want to see it for yourself. The Needles Old Battery opens daily between 10:30 and 5. Adults $4.40, children $2.20, family entry £11, and as mentioned before, members can come in for free. To find out more, visit the National Trust website.